the is it green? There you go. Okay, both signals should be good. All right, should see an ad come through, and that's when you know that we're live and good to go. Are you guys seeing the signal yet? Let me know. I'll wait for it to kick in. Hello. Hey, let me get a plus in the chat if you guys can see that we're online. We got a plus. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, that means we are good to go. Welcome everybody to another morning of Good Morning Kyiv. I'm in Mercado with Graybeard, who is with me, and I dropped my phone, to help translate our special guest, Fumi-san. Hi, and also his guest, Natalia, who came all the way from Kharkiv this weekend to come and be a guest on our show, promote what Fumi-san has, and also attend the Vladimir Putin Do Fuck Off event with John Sweeney, which we're going to today. Like a big group of YouTubers are going today. Yes.
Wow. What time are you going?
I'm going about whenever he needs to be there, like for his speech.
We're gonna go at noon.
Okay, I'm gonna show up for his speech, and then we're all going at 5 o'clock for the rest of the time. It's like me, and I gathered a bunch of YouTubers and other.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that have been guests.
Yeah, fantastic.
So I'm going to be asking Fumi-san and Natalia questions, and Graybeard will be translating.
She does not speak English or Japanese.
Okay. So
I think she's just kind of enjoying the heat.
Enjoying the heat. Okay. Well, if Natalia does feel like answering any question at all, maybe if that's so.
We can make it work.
Yeah, we'll try to make it work. We'll use the Translate app if possible. So
that's how they communicate most of the time anyway.
Oh, yeah. Do we have good audio, you guys? Are we all right? We don't have a new NAFO fundraiser yet, but guess what? You can help Fumi-san because his Patreon is in the description. So if you subscribe to Fumi-san's Patreon, Graybeard, or Fumi-san, what do they get for subscribing to your Patreon?
ふみさんの Patreon に subscribe するとどういうこともらえますかとかどういうことになりますか？
ふみカフェに来れば無料でいつでも食べられる。
He says that if you are one of his patrons and you come to the Fumi Cafe, you can eat for free whenever you want.
Wow. Wow.
一日店長もできます。
And you can be the manager of the cafe for one day. That's the
manager for one day. Yeah.
You can wear the manager thing and
yeah. And you also, what level they get their name on the?
Yes. So なんか名前が看板につけることにもしますよね。
そうです。
はい。So also
短冊を書いて名前を入れます。
So also, he's got a board on the wall, and he personally writes the names of the people, like in pen or marker, and then once a month they go through and show, like record everybody who does it.
That's so awesome.
多分ふみさんが
そうです。
なんかそのお金で何をしますとか、それもその人もらうんで。
すべてふみカフェの運営費。ですから人件費を払ったり、それから食材を購入したり。
So the also what you get is the knowledge. That money is used to pay the staff because they're not volunteers. They're people who live in Kharkiv and they need jobs. They need to support their husbands who are out, fighting for their freedom. And you get to feed a lot of people. In the interview we talk about it, but he is incredibly efficient with the money.
Absolutely.
And for like $10 you can feed 50 people for a day.
Literally 50 people, and we have a video coming too, which when I get my YouTube channel back it will be posted on there. So it's full. We had a great interview. We show the area in Kharkiv and it's just absolutely amazing. So Fumi-san, for anybody because we haven't posted the interview yet, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, well, explain who you are and what you do for Ukraine.
まだそのインタビューアップしていないし、そしてその迷惑 YouTuber の話で彼が今のところであまり多分アップできないからちょっと後にアップするので、それでそのビデオとか見てないので自分の自己紹介をしてくれますか？
はい。日本の東京から来ました。私、土子文則と申します。年齢は75歳。年金で生活をしています。
He is Tsuchiko Fuminori, but we would say Fuminori Tsuchiko. And he is a 75-year-old man from Tokyo, Japan, who is living on a pension.
Wow.
1年半ほどハリコフに住んでます。
He's been living in Kharkiv for about a year and a half.
フミカフェの前は地下鉄で避難民を支援していました。
And before he started the Fumi Cafe, he was living in the subway with other evacuees in Kharkiv.
フミカフェをオープンして4月にオープンしました。もう半年近く続いてます。これは皆さんのご支援のおかげです。
He opened up Fumi Cafe about 6 months ago in 5月でしたっけ？4月. April. I have to do it.
It's okay,
4月.
it's
It's
okay.
fourth month.
It's
I
okay,
literally
it's
have to
okay.
count it out. In April. And he's been running the Fumi Cafe on donations he gets from viewers like you since the beginning.
これから2号店も冬に向かってオープンする予定です。そのための資金が必要です。
And right now, this money that he's trying to raise right now is specifically so that they can open a second location. He's trying to open a second location this winter in
Wow.
another city near the front to feed another 1,000 people a day.
So if you guys want to see another Fumi Cafe built, support Fumi-san on Patreon because that'd be awesome.
もし皆さんがもう意見立てられるのが見たいならぜひ Patreon に。
そうです。はい。戦争が長引いてハリキウはロシアの国境に近いために毎日のようにミサイルの空襲警報が鳴ります。ですから仕事がなく貯金も底をついてきています。年金生活者がもともと多いお年寄りの貧困地帯が多くありますので、冬に向かってかなり皆さん疲弊してきてますので支援が必要です。
So the war is continuing, and Kharkiv is right near. It's about 30 kilometers from the Russian border, and as you guys know from the recent news, they are continually targeted with missiles. Civilian, buildings are targeted. This leads to economic collapse. The people can't go to work. They can't do things because it's been blown up. And from the very beginning, there were a lot of people on pensions. There were a lot of older people. It was always a city that had a lot of elderly in it. So because of this, because of these missiles coming, it's getting worse and continuing. So because of that, they need money from the outside world because it's very difficult to keep the economy rolling.
Yeah, me and you, just really quick before he continues, me and you spent time in Kharkiv, and now you've been in Kyiv. The difference is, it's a lot different there.
It's astronomical, yeah. I've been here a little bit, just about almost exactly a month now.
Yeah.
I was here in Kyiv for 2 weeks, and it's not, you don't really worry too much.
Not in Kyiv, no.
Yeah, there's Patriot missile defense systems from America that are really good at their job.
Really good.
Really good. But actually, I think so this whole time, the only time, the scariest thing I experienced, the only time I was like, wow, this is kind of dangerous, was during the interview with Fumi-san.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing the interview, we were sitting in the cafe, and we had already walked around and seen that buildings in that shopping center had been hit.
Yeah, in the very market that we were in.
Yeah, and then while we were doing the interview, an air raid siren started, and my brain just realized that this gentleman is a direct enemy of Vladimir Putin. He is working directly against the evil that Putin brought to this country. And I realized, how much more dangerous his life is. And we're sitting there in the room with him, and I looked over at you, and you kind of looked at me, and we went,
Yeah. It's a tight fight. It's a tight fight. Yeah, being in Kharkiv. Anyways, so back to the inspiration to start the cafe. How did Fumi-san get inspired to begin the cafe?
カフェが始まる気持ちとか、その、インスピレーションという言葉を使っているんですけど、なんかどういうきっかけでそのカフェとかハルキーブを手伝おうと思いましたか？
最初に去年の夏に計画は立てました。しかしお金がなかった。それで戦争が長期化して子どもたちやかなりの人がもう諸外国に避難してた人も戻ってきました。これはもう生活が外国ではなかなかできない。もともと家族がまだハルキウに残ってる、そういう方が多かったですから。はい。
So his plan he started planning this last summer.
Wow.
That he wanted to do a free cafe to get it out to more people, but he didn't have enough money. However, the war was continuing and it settled down in that area thanks to the work of the Kraken unit, as your hat displays. And because of them and their work, it settled down. I mean, it's not great in Kharkiv, but it settled down, and more people started coming back to Kharkiv because it was difficult or impossible for them to work out of the country, and being a refugee in France or whatever in Europe was difficult, so they came back to Kharkiv and people started arriving again.
Wow.
戦争が長期化して人々は毎朝ゴミ箱を漁って食料を探すようになりました。日ごとにそういう状態が増えています。で、今カフェの運営はナターシャが基本的に全てやっています。はい。
So when because the war was continuing, he noticed that there were people who were going through the garbage and stuff looking for food. So he realized that they had to do something. They had to make something happen.
Yeah.
And he had this plan from before, so he spoke with Natasha about it, and Natalia.
Oh, Natasha.
Natasha,
No
no problem.
problem.
So I was introduced to her as Natasha, but I guess it's like a nickname. She goes to.
No problem.
Yeah,
It's no problem.
Yeah, it's fine. They use both, I guess. So he, spoke with her about it, and she basically became the manager. So he is the money guy. He brings in money, and she does all
what
of the
language
work.
Is it Russian or
She
Ukrainian?
mainly speaks Russian.
Okay, let me do this quick. Oh, because I want to ask her a couple questions then. How difficult is it to be a manager at the cafe? Or no, let me do a different one.
This is a common problem.
What are some of the challenges that you face as a manager of this cafe? Shit. Oh, okay.
This is why
What
you
are
need
some of the
translators.
challenges you face managing the Russian cafe or managing the Fumi-san cafe? I'm trying to get the. What are some of the challenges you face managing Fumi-san's cafe? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Я потрібен шанс, не
How does she? Yeah. And have her do it
she's
back.
got-
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can
yep.
do it on
And we'll do
hers.
it back and forth.
They communicate
Absolutely.
this way a lot.
Yeah. This is how we have to communicate.
You want to throw down a little rap while we wait?
Yeah.
Can you just
Throw down a little.
drop
Throw down.
beat?
Hey, if you guys can, again, check out Fumi-san's Patreon. Also, some of these photos, really quick, I want to show while we're getting the translation app up and running, so Natasha can help answer. But these are some of Fumi-san's photos with President Zelensky, and he was given the Hero of Ukraine award.
Yeah,
Correct?
well, he brought the paperwork.
Wow.
It's not the medal; it's the award.
Yeah. Wow. Check that out.
And this, you're not going to see very many.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This actually has some weight to it. It's actually heavy. But here's the official documentation for Fumi-san's medal that he had been awarded from President Zelensky, which is just absolutely awesome. Okay.
відповідаю на питання. Проблеми є завжди, але ми з ФУМІ совмісно їх вирішуємо без проблем. За допомогою японців, обичних людей, українців, все стається не з такими великими проблемами, як здається на перший погляд.
You want to just?
Yeah, I'll read this. Oops.
Oh,
Oops. Oh, shoot. Dropping phones. All right. I answer questions. There are always problems, but Fumi and I jointly solve them without problems, with the help of Japanese ordinary people. Ukrainians, it doesn't happen with such big problems as it seems at first glance. So how could I so she essentially helps Fumi-san, and Ukrainians aren't seeing the problem that is in Kharkiv. Is that essentially what that? I mean, so. Oh yeah.
If you can use
Okay, cool.
Just hit the English. She's got
This one?
Yeah, the one on the left.
The one on the left? Okay. So is it the challenge? So let me try to figure out how to ask this. This is a challenging interview, you guys, using different languages in this one.
Four different
Yeah.
languages.
4 different languages. So what are the needs that you see the cafe needs the most? There we go. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Дуже багато людей ходить до нас їсти, і чим далі тим їм буде становитися більше. Тому кожна допомога, я навіть не знаю, яка найголовніша, їжа, продукти, гроші для утримання кафе, все важливо. Нема саме якоїсь однієї проблеми.
Okay. A lot of people come to eat with us, and the further you go, the more they will become, so help is needed. I don't even know what the most important thing is. It food, products, money for the maintenance for the cafe. Everything is important. There is no particular problem. Thank you. I'll be asking some more.
Yeah.
So, as the owner of the cafe, what do you see the cafe needs the most? What do you need the most?
カフェのオーナーとしてなんか一番大事なものとか一番大事なニーズはどう思いますか？
私たちの考え方は、たとえ一食でもお腹いっぱい食べていただく。
So their feeling is that the most important thing is even if it's only one meal, you have to feed people. So it's to him the most important thing is just feeding people.
ハルキウの人々は決して小食でもホームレスでもありません。プーチンの理不尽な攻撃で家を破壊され仕事を失い、家族をちりぢりバラバラになり、そういう人たちがたくさんいます。それをお腹を空かしている子どもたちやお年寄りに食事を提供するのは人間として当たり前のことです。
It's gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
So what he was saying is the people of Kharkiv were not these are not homeless people. These are not it's not people with who weren't working with no jobs or anything like that. They had homes, they had jobs. This is entirely because Vladimir Putin and the Russian army decided to invade. Their homes were destroyed, their jobs were taken away, their families were dispersed around. And when you see children and families going hungry, it is a normal thing for humans to want to help. Mm-hmm. And so that is all he cares about.
So, yeah. Did you have more to say? Yeah. So the human connection of it. Now Fumi-san had talked about he had spent time down in the subway before he had established his cafe. What were the challenges what did he do in the subway with the people?
カフェをオープンする前に、地下鉄に住んでいて、地下鉄に住んでいた時はどうでした？どういう問題とか？
はい。150人ぐらいの人たちが避難して生活をしてました。地下鉄にいることで表に出てませんので、とても支援がなくて、皆さん体調を崩したり、 空腹のために1日1食しか提供されてませんでしたので、それを2食にするためにさまざまな支援活動をしました。非常に苦しい生活状況でした。
So there were 150 people living in a single subway stop. They couldn't really leave because the war was a lot worse there then. Which the air is not good. Everything it messes with your health, and they were only eating one time a day. It was very difficult to bring in any donations or anything because they were stuck inside a subway, and the volunteer organizations only provided one small meal a day. So in order to do something about that, he started working to bring in money to help. And it was just a very difficult situation to live in.
私たちは1年近く地下鉄の生活に耐えてきました。
They lived inside the subway station for 1 year. Him as well.
1 year, and Natasha did too.
Yeah.
What can I? What was the experience like for you living in the subway?
Було дуже тяжко. Розумієте, в один день змінилося життя привичне для людини. І ти мусиш щось робити, щоб це життя продовжувалось далі. Було дуже тяжко. В один день змінилось Ван. Було дуже
It was
тяжко.
very difficult.
В один день змінилося все життя.
That day my whole life changed.
Люди з дітьми мусили спуститися в метро.
People with children had to go down to the subway.
Ми спасали тварин, дітей, людей. Ми не розуміли, що буде далі.
We saved animals, children, people. We did not understand what would happen next.
Без допомоги волонтерів і таких людей, як Фумінорі, ми би там не вижили.
With the help of volunteers and such people as Fuminori, we would not have survived there.
Я дуже вдячна Фумінорі, що він прийшов, допомагав нам і досі допомагає.
I am very grateful to Fuminori that he came to help us and is still helping us.
Wow. Thank you. So, how many was it dark at times? Did you get to have any light down in the subway, or was it just dark most of the time?
地下鉄の中にずっと暗いですか？それかなんか光もありましたか？
地下鉄はですね、常時明るくなってました。ですから夜でも明るいので、もうとにかく暗くすると非常に恐怖心が湧きます。はい。
So actually, it's kind of the other way around. The subway stations tend to have a lot of lights, and it was light all the time. So it was light at night, which would make it hard to sleep. But they didn't want to turn the lights off because it becomes pitch black, and that itself is scary.
Good to know that the lights were still on.
Yeah.
What about basic needs? Like, were they able to use the power down there? Did that work? Simple things like charging phones. How did that situation work?
北の資源とかがありました。現地とかありましたか？パワーとか電気とか、and water and stuff、水とか。
もともと地下鉄はどこの国でもそうですけども、人が生活する場所にはできていません。ですから水道も水が1箇所だけ、それからトイレ、シャワーはもちろんありません。洗濯も手で洗うしかできません。電気も容量は限られているし、インフラが攻撃されれば一晩中一日中停電になったりしました。
So he says this is the same in any country. Subway stops are not places people are supposed to live. So there was only one location to get water. There was only one working toilet. Obviously, there was no shower. If you wanted to wash anything, you had to do it by hand.
Wow.
And the electricity was obviously limited. And also, yes, the power did sometimes go out because of the effects of the war.
Yeah. It's okay.
私も1月半シャワーを浴びなかったので、さすがに自分で臭くなりました。
He says he did not take a shower for over a month, so he got pretty smelly.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, not taking a shower for a month was tough.
Yeah.
Did you receive any support from the Ukrainian government, local government, while you were down in the subway?
サポートを刑事じゃなくてガバメント
ハルキビ市
そうハルキビ市
はい
からお金とかスポートとか何かもらいましたか？政治から、はい、政治。
まあ軍が全て優先されてましたので、はい、支援は一度もありませんでした。
All of the support of the government was going to the army for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, yeah.
So they did not get any support from the city or the government.
What about now?
今はどう？
今もありません。
No, they're still not getting.
Still not receiving it? Okay. I think Kharkiv in general is kind of getting. Is it fair to say that like Kharkiv is not really getting the attention that it needs in general?
アンドリューさんはカールキーブがあまりなんかみんなフォーカスしていないんでなんか本当にもうちょっとみんな見た方がいいと思っているんですけど、なんかそんなに見られていないと思っているんですけど、フミさんはどう思う？
ハルキウはですね、ロシア系の住民が4割ぐらい昔からいます、戦前から。でハルキウ自体はロシア系の住民が多いということで
4割
ですからもともと看板もロシア語ですし、ほとんどの方がロシア語を、特にお年寄りは話します。でそういうような状況ですから、非常に市自体もやはりこちらの中央政府とはやっぱりちょっと違った考え方をしている。
So from the beginning, about 40% of Kharkiv was Russians and Russian, speaker. I mean, not just Russian speakers, but people who considered themselves Russian. So from the beginning, the way that they were thinking about it was pretty different than the way that because even the government there, a lot of the signs are in Russian, especially the older people. Just only
we noticed that as soon as we got there.
Yeah, everybody was speaking Russian, which is totally fine. Nobody has a problem with that, despite what you may have heard. But all the signs are in Russian. Most of the elderly people only were allowed to speak Russian when they were growing up. So the government did have a lot of Russians in it, and the way of thinking of that government is very different than the way of thinking of the government here.
I see.
And the central government, it's a little different.
もともとハルキウ市は地下鉄の避難民を立ち退かせたいというふうに最初から考えていました。臭い、汚い、見た目が悪い、こういうような理由です。
So from the beginning, the government wasn't, they were more concerned with the fact that having that many people in the subway was dirty and smelly, and it didn't look good for the city. So they were trying to kind of hide it more than they were trying to help.
9月にハルキウが解放されてゼレンスキーが来た時もきれいな南部の方のきれいなきちんとした被災が少ない場所しか彼を案内しませんでした。
So after Kharkiv was liberated, President Zelensky came to visit, and the city government only brought him to an area of the south where there was very little damage and everything kind of looked a lot better. And
kind of had like a dog and pony show, we call it in the U.S. for that.
Yeah, and so they never even brought him to see what they were going through.
I see.
ですからさまざまな理由があって支援は 来ませんでした。
So there are various reasons, but in the end, they just did not get any support at all.
今も変わってません。
And it has not changed to this day.
What are some of the? This is. I'll ask both of them. We can start with Natasha.
Oh,
Yeah. What are some things that you see that Kharkiv needs the most?
Наступають холоди.
Cold weather is coming.
Cold weather is coming.
І я бачу по людям, що в них немає речей навіть одягти щось тепле.
I see from people that they don't even have anything warm to wear.
Діти також ростуть, і на них речі становляться малі.
Children also grow and things become small for them.
Це, що касається одягу. Знаєте, чим далі, тим важче нам добувати продукти для приготування їжі.
As for clothes, you know, the further away it is, the harder it is for us to get food for cooking.
Yeah.
Other than clothes, I guess.
Yeah.
Тому ми хочемо сказати, що ваша підтримка для нас дуже важлива.
Therefore, we want to say that your support is very important to us.
Будь-яка допомога важлива.
Any help is important.
Будь-яка допомога важлива.
Yeah. Any help is important.
Any help is important. So the winter is coming, you guys. It's like it's getting chillier here, and again, the situation in Kharkiv is not the same as here in Kyiv. Like it's just every other building we saw was damaged or destroyed, boarded up buildings. They don't have like the shopping that there is, but not like there is here at all.
It's totally different.
It's totally a different situation. You can definitely feel the war there every minute of every day in Kharkiv. And I'm hoping that before the winter kicks in, that like Kharkiv, Odessa, other major cities can get a Patriot system, at least one, so that way they can protect the city, because they're doing great in Kyiv and it's doing amazing, but they don't have a Patriot in Kharkiv. Like there's missiles land there like
It would
every.
make such a huge difference.
Yes, it's still a very huge difference, and it needs support. So as much as Kyiv is great, and I promise you, it's wonderful, and it's 95% at least protected. Sometimes a drone might get in when they take it down, and the drone crashes because they took it down. But beyond that, nothing is breaking in here at this point. What are some of the things Fumi-san sees that Kharkiv needs the most?
Fumi-san の意見はなんかハルキウの一番大事なもらわなきゃならないものは何ですか？
ですね、非常に苦しい状態の話ばっかりしていますけれども、私たちはどんな状況になろうとも最後まで支援は続けます。ですから私がたまたまここにいるだけで全ての方のご支援をご協力をお願いいたします。
He says that no matter what happens, they're not going to stop supporting Kharkiv. So regardless kind of what they need individually, they need all of it. Yeah. And the only way they can get it is through support from outside people. So, no matter what, all he can really say is please support Kharkiv. Please help support us, so that whatever it is, because it's going to keep going, until it ends, they're going to have to get it. So he's not so much thinking about individual things, I think.
I really liked, and this interview will come out, but when I asked him, I said, "What do you need most?" And he said, "Money."
Money.
Yeah, and it's just no lies. Yeah, no lies about it. There's no beating around the bush. That's what they need. So that way, can you ask the process of how he gets the food for the cafe? Like when he gets the money, what does he do with the money to bring it to the cafe?
そのお金とかその支援をもらうときに、あとなんかどういう流れで食べ物を作りますか？そのなんかお金から食べ物までの流れは、
支援金を受け取りますと、とりあえず予算を振り分けます。 その上で皆さんは戦争中だから物がないんだと思いますが EU からさまざまな物資は入ってきてますのでそれをスーパーやそれから地元の小売店に現金で購入するようにしています。
So the first thing that they do when they get money is they make a budget with what they've got, and then they, according to that budget, a lot of different kinds of food and different resources are coming from the EU. So they just go to the supermarket with the money, with cash, and they start buying whatever the cheapest thing, whatever has come in bulk from Europe, and they start buying that.
現金を地元の小さな商店にお金を落とすことで少しでもウクライナの経済を回すように考えています。
And they're also thinking that with this money, even if it's not a lot, by using it to buy food and resources and food from local shops, they're helping the economy. They're helping the local economy keep rolling. Those people need jobs too. So
the money goes literally right back to Kharkiv.
it goes right back
to feed
Kharkiv.
Kharkiv.
To feed Kharkiv. Yeah. そうそのお金が直接ハルキーブの人に渡して、そしてそれでハルキーブの人に食べさせることができます。
そういうふうに少しずつでもしませんと経済がウクライナ全体の経済が回っていきません。
If you don't do that kind of thing at least a little, then the economy of Ukraine is not going to keep working. So you've got to keep it rolling.
すべてはウクライナの人々を救うためです。
And 100% of it is used to help the people of Ukraine through purchasing from their stock shops, through giving them food, through all of it.
私たちは1年近く地下鉄で耐えてきました。どんな状況になっても徹底的に最後まで支援は続けます。
So they lived in a subway station for a year, and they kept at it. So from now, it does not matter what the situation becomes; they will keep at it until the end.
Does he feel like because he had lived that life in the subway that now that anything is possible?
その経験があって、その地下鉄に住める経験があって、これから何でもできるっていう気持ちになっていますか？
そうですね。時の耐えてきたスタッフ、決してプーチンが何をしようとも一歩も引かないで最後まで戦います。
So, after seeing how hard the staff was willing to work and what they were willing to do, it doesn't matter to him what Putin does. No matter what, he will not take a step back, and he will keep fighting till the end.
100%. To bring it home for my audience, because we're on my gaming channel, I play video games here, so I'm going to make a reference. But if you've played the Metro games, like the Metro series, you will see that in parts of the game, you got to go down into the Metro system and then interact with people down there. And that might be a visual for you that you can try to maybe connect to this situation. It's not the same, it's a video game, but real life is happening, and the people were down there living. And so maybe you can connect that in your brain to maybe understand, if possible, or empathize with it. What is the food items that are served at Fumi Cafe?
どういう食べ物を作っていますか？ Fumi Cafe で。
普通にウクライナの方が普段自分の家庭で食べる料理を中心にスタッフがいいコックさんがいますので、作って提供してます。
So, he says that they have very good cooks, and they make the kind of home cooking that
they're hard workers.
Yeah. And they make the kind of home cooking that people in Ukraine are used to.
Oh, wow.
So it's mainly the same kind of stuff that people would be making in their homes in Ukraine.
Wow.
とにかくボルシチ、ピロシキ、いろいろな料理があります。とにかくお腹いっぱい食べていただく温かい料理を。
So, they make a lot of borscht and,
course.
other stuff.
Of course.
Ukrainian food. But, the most important thing is to just fill up the stomachs of these people with warm food. Make sure that the kids and the elderly and, the women who are waiting on their husbands to come back have a hot meal.
Is it Natasha told us? Let me ask.
I know I'm taking Ukrainian lessons so I can do this next time for you.
You had told us when we had visited about your husband. Is this something that you would like to share? Okay.
Так, мій чоловік воєнний, ЗСУ.
Yes, my husband is a soldier in the armed forces.
Yeah, you could just let
Чим я горжуся?
What I am proud of.
Але сталося так, що 5 місяців тому його сильно поранило.
So that 5 months ago she hurt him badly.
He was hurt badly.
Він у лікарні. Состояння вже більш-менш добре.
He is in the hospital, but his condition is more or less good.
Зараз ми його перевезли в Харків і займаємось його здоров'ям.
We have now moved him to Kyiv and are taking care of his health.
Потихенечку ми йдемо до перемоги з цією проблемою.
Little by little we are on our way to victory with this problem.
Я задоволена лікарями в Харкові.
I am satisfied with the doctors in Kyiv.
І також дякую за підтримку наших друзів в цей важкий час.
And also thank you for supporting our friends during this difficult time.
And we'll all be thinking of your husband and wishing his best, so he can be his best.
І я буду думати про вашого чоловіка і бажати йому всього найкращого, щоб він міг бути
Of course. All right. What are your favorite Ukrainian dishes? Your favorite. I asked you this before, but what is your favorite Ukrainian food?
一番好きなウクライナの料理は何ですか？
ボルシチです
Borscht.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so
every
good.
time every
Me for
Place.
what eat борщ. Oh my god.
Yeah, борщ.
Okay.
More. Does he have it with cream cheese or sour cream?
サワークリーム入れますか？
no
No sour cream. He has it just regular.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, they don't actually really have sour cream in Japan.
Really? It's not a thing?
If you go to an import store, you can find it, but you have to go to a specialty shop in a big city like this
Wow.
to find it.
I put sour cream on tacos and everything. What about Natasha's favorite meal? What is her favorite dish?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speak Japanese at her.
What is your favorite food?
Яка твоя улюблена страва?
Я повар ресторанного бізнесу.
I am a chef of a business restaurant.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Тому я все люблю. Нема такого, що я би так дуже обозначила.
That's why I love everything. There is nothing that I would describe.
Yeah.
Мені подобаються страви інших стран куштувати.
I like to taste food from other countries.
Yes, same. Yeah, same. That's why I love coming to Ukraine.
Знаєш, що Фумі дуже полюбляє український борщ і американський Макдональдс.
McDonald's.
I know that Fumi really likes Ukrainian borscht and American
So Fumi likes borscht and
Yeah,
McDonald's.
that's they actually went to McDonald's yesterday. I brought him back from I brought him in from Kharkiv and picked him up. And the first place that they went was McDonald's. They were like, "We want to go to McDonald's because
Yeah, of
All the
course.
McDonald's in Kharkiv
Of
are
course.
closed.
Yeah.
So the first chance he got, literally
I
off the
forgot that.
train.
Yeah. All of them are closed. Every single McDonald's. It looks sad because
Yeah.
they look just abandoned. And here in Kyiv, it's like there's a McDonald's
Everywhere, all over the place.
every other block. It's awesome. Well, what's your favorite? What do you get from McDonald's?
マックで何を買いますか？
チーズバーガー、ポテト、ナゲット、
Yeah, I think you got that.
Yeah, cheeseburger, nugget, and potato. Very
Yeah,
good.
Fried potatoes. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. How do you, besides Patreon, right? And we have the link in the description to support Fumi-san, and if you want to become, and it's good because you can become you're a Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can speak personally about it.
So one of the things, Fumi-san doesn't do a lot of, communicating with people directly online and stuff like that. He only speaks Japanese.
He's 10 toes down on the ground.
Yeah, he's
here.
Really focused on feeding people, getting the money. He goes to parks and things like that. So when you donate it in Patreon, there's multiple levels. What you get for going up higher is feeding more people. Like if you donate, I think it's $5 is his lowest level. It's like 25 people, because the way it works is they just look at their budget for the month and then they divide it up by day and how much does each day cost and then how many people a day. They're feeding 1,000, so they just do the math pretty simply. So by donating more, that's an extra 50 people they can feed. That's an extra 100 people they can feed. And that's all that is really on the Patreon. It doesn't work the same as most Patreons do.
Well, it's a transparent Patreon, it sounds, because like you're seeing the numbers for how much money you're spending and how many people you're able to feed.
Yeah.
That's amazing. $5 you can feed 25.
I don't know, 500円でが一番安い Patreon で一番安いです。$5 ドルになってます。Okay, so he's doing it in American dollars.
American $5.
Yeah. それで何人になりますか
？5ドルで100人の食事が1日1回提供できます。
100人？
はい。
He says that it's like 100 people for $5.
One day.
For one day.
One people for $5. You got $5 laying around and you want to feed 100 people today? You can subscribe to Fumi-san's Patreon and do that. Literally $5 will feed 100 people. That's absolutely amazing.
I'm just gonna roll for a second. It's cool. Things are not that expensive here. Food is not that expensive. They grow a lot of grain. A lot of resources are, food resources are inexpensive to begin with, and he's extremely efficient. So, that's why, and they're buying in bulk, and they buy meat in bulk and then freeze it for later, so they always buy stuff for as little as they can. ちょっとふみさんのやり方説明していて、できるだけ安くいっぱい買っていて、それで効果的にやっていますって説明しました。
地元のスタッフの方がいますから、値段をチェックして安い商品をまとめ買いをして、それをコックさんがちゃんと調理メニューを作ってますので、それに基づいて全てナターシャが責任を持ってやってくれてます。
So they have local people working in the staff. So they're all local people. So they know what the price should be. So whenever they look at something, they he can ask them. They can, Natasha is in charge of it, and she looks at it. If the price isn't good, she'll be like, "No, this is too expensive. Like you should, that you should be selling this for cheaper." So they can make sure that when they get their stuff, they're getting it for the best price. And the cooks are really good at making it work, making it last. The food that they make stretches it out as much as possible.
And we got to see a little bit of it, and they had mentioned earlier that the money goes right back into Kharkiv to feed, and it does. There's a market like literally right next to the building with fresh fruit, vegetables, all of the ingredients that they need, and it's literally right there. So and it's amazing. That market was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It is really nice.
How now outside of his Patreon, what does Fumi-san do to collect donations?
Patreon 以外どうやって寄付をもらってますか？
フミファンドというファンドを4月に設立してます。はい。でこれで給料とか建物の家賃とか水道光熱費とかこれを会計士を雇ってその方に全て管理を任せて地元の方ですけども 運営をしてます。ですからもう一つはフミファンドというのがあります。
そのフミファンドは
はい
その8個とかあれ
そうです、
はいはいはい
書いてあります。
はいはい
はい。
そのお金も入れ
そうです。はい。
So he also has a thing he started in April that is called the Fumi Fund. It is run by accountants in Kharkiv. He's giving them a job, and there's a local accountant who takes care of all of that money. There is a way to put into it directly. It's written on his little box. I'll give that to you so you can put it on the description of the video.
Yeah, well,
And then, but then also he goes out with a box and stands in the park, and he's going to be doing that today. One of the reasons we're going to the VPDFO early is so that he can do his speech, talk at noon, and then come to the Maidan. And he's going to be standing out there with his box.
Oh, you're going to get big.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
You're going to get big donations in Maidan. Yeah.
And he stands there with the box, and the people.
Where does he stand with the box? Just because they're going to see it, but.
So, this time he'll be in the Maidan Square, but normally he goes to park, Kharkiv no koen. No,
Central Park.
It's just called Central Park in Kharkiv.
Okay.
And he stands out there with his box. And, one of the things I kind of want to roll on for a second is that the people of Ukraine donate to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're always talking about bringing in money from abroad and, international viewers and stuff.
Show the box?
Yeah.
Is that what he wants to do?
Yeah, we'll show the box.
Keep talking.
But, if you walk around the streets of Kyiv, there are people raising money, just like in World War II in America, there were, recycling drives and, scrap metal drives and things like that. The first half of, what was it, Captain America? Captain America was just raising money, for the American war effort. And they're doing that here as well.
Yeah.
They're, and when he goes out with his box, the Ukrainian people, they chip in.
Yeah, they do. We saw it with our own eyes. We watched it. He has got a candy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Fumi Fund is on there. If you hold it up, maybe they can. Not the most.
We're gonna put it in the
We'll put it in
description.
the description, but
Гривна and many dollars, yen, many Tom
Maybe you guys want to screenshot this really quick on the stream.
Yen and euro.
みんなそっちに入れますか？直接。
直接 one time money here.
別に日本語でいい。So they were just saying that people put dollars in there, people put yen in there,
Yeah.
people put money from Italy and all
Really?
sorts of other places that they tourists or if anybody who's coming by and if they've got it, they'll look, here, take this.
And it's a whole thing too, because we helped him carry some of it, and he's got a whole setup that he's gonna have. So I know I have Ukrainian viewers in Kyiv. So if you want to meet Fumi-san, he does photos. He'll do a picture with you. He'll be in Maidan today. So that'll be awesome.
使った内容については毎月1回会計報告を Facebook、Instagram and Twitter でしています。
So for transparency, every month on his Facebook, which he is actually pretty active on Facebook because, we're old dudes.
I am too. I'm old apparently.
So we're pretty active on Facebook, and every month he puts up all of the money that he got, how much he got, all laid out, and where it's going to. So he's totally transparent with the money that's coming in and how it's going out.
レシートを添付して。
So he puts the receipts on it. He attaches the receipts.
Of course he does. He always brings the receipts.
He always brings the receipts.
That's amazing. That's the people that will genuinely help. They love that. They love seeing the transparency.
Yeah. 本当に手伝いたい人がそれを見るのが好きですよね。
そうです。
なんかそれ本当にこのお金はどこ行っているのか。
そうです。
ね、
だから、
absolutely.
はい、目に見える形できちんとお金は使わせていただいてます。
Yeah. If you can see where the money is going directly, you're more likely
to donate.
To help.
Exactly.
And they want to see exactly how their money is going out every month as well.
私たちはクルーザーや 別荘を買うためにお金を集めてるわけではありません。
They are not raising money to buy summer homes or land cruisers or anything like that. 昨日の話僕ちょっとしていいですか？
はい。
昨日そのトラックの話。
そうです。
So this is something that happened yesterday because I thought about it when you mentioned the cruiser. We were planning on asking you for your help. We had spoken about it,
Yeah.
He had spoken about it with us when we went, that he needs a truck because they're trying to open up another location. They need to bring stuff.
You need to bring supplies.
Yeah, and during the winter, there are elderly people who can't travel in this deep snow and stuff. So how are we going to get this food to these people who now they can come on the subway, but they have to walk through their neighborhoods to do that, and when the snow is falling, they can't. So we needed a van, some kind of van. And we were going to try and hit you up for your next NAFO fundraiser.
Yeah, because we haven't started it yet, and the good news is Anton, who's in the 69th Brigade, is from Kharkiv. So I'll reach out to him today and say, hey, I got something we can help Kharkiv with.
Actually, you don't have to.
Oh, really?
Or maybe not. Because Harry EST,
Harry
EST, Harry Ragnar's friend. Shout out to Harry. Yesterday we were at the VPDFO and we had mentioned that to him that we were going to talk to you about it, and he said, "Oh, don't worry, we can get that settled in a week."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, we'll do something. It'll take a week at most."
That's
right?
even better.
It was great. Oh, it gets even better.
Oh, wow.
Because we were hanging out, and it was the first time that Natasha had a chance to have fun at a party type thing, so she was having a good time, and we were kind of hanging out, and right before the end he came back to us and he said, "I found you a truck."
Wow. Well, that was quick. Wow.
It was like in 2 hours, maybe.
Wow.
Like 2 hours later, he said, "Yeah, I've got a guy in Europe. He has a 2005 Volkswagen Transporter, which is like the perfect truck for what he's looking for. And we'll bring it to Kyiv, and maybe I'll drive it to Kharkiv or whatever, if it gets here soon enough." And it was like, shout out to Harry and Ragnar.
The Fumi truck. Yeah.
Like right off the bat. Because, with the NAFO stuff, you've got to send it to Estonia.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's going
longer.
to the front. It takes a minute. But this it's for this kind of work.
Yeah, of
it
course.
It doesn't need night vision.
Yeah. Night vision truck.
So they were like, "We've got one. We'll bring
perfect.
it to Kyiv." So it just settled. So now today we're focusing on Patreon supporters.
Thank you. And it shows you how important these types of trucks are, though, in general. Even whether they're through the NAFO brigade or they're from Harry, EST, or here, it shows you how important these 4x4 trucks just to be able to continue working.
Everyday stuff.
Everyday stuff.
From evacuating people who are bleeding out on the front to bringing food to elderly people. We need vehicles.
Yeah.
They need vehicles.
Literally, it lives depend on it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
all right. Well, let's do some viewer questions.
Yeah.
I got Phil. Great chat. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the Philip Ittner says.
Oh yeah, we met him yesterday.
Yeah, you met him yesterday. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the Vladimir Putin Do Fuck Off today. Balcony photo. Yeah, we'll do a balcony photo for you, Philip, after we're done. And yes, also myself, Johnny FD, Terrell Star, Dylan Burns. I'm missing some, but my brain. But we're gonna all be there today at the Vladimir Putin Do Fuck Off event later. Oh yeah, I already said. But also today I'm meeting with someone that will be able to help my main YouTube channel here in Kyiv, which is just gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll get that hopefully.
I was explaining that to him earlier.
Yeah, we'll get that hopefully squared away here in the next couple days.
Yeah.
So that'll be really good news. So let's do some viewer questions and then we'll give final thoughts because I have to go and meet this person and it's so important that I get my YouTube channel back. Richard Daniel, 5 gifted, thank you. Dunk on you. Welcome to the mini size. Hot dog fun, thank you so much. Prostic, fully with you. Merc, kicking butt, Slava Ukrainian, thank you. Dunk on you. ASU, 15 months, Slava Ukraine, thank you. Troy, thank you. Lots of love to Fumi-san for all he does with the heart so big to hug the world.
Yeah. Fumi-san にありがとうって言っていて、その心があまりに大きくて世界をハグしています。
Thank you so much. ありがとうございます。
World Collective View, welcome to Mini Size. Barry Mundy says, Asa Merc and Graybeard and Mr. San and Natasha, a sake for each of you with love and support.
ベリームンディというスポーターが、僕のために日本酒一杯買ってくださいって話して
ありがとうございます。
Thanks for all you do from Ukraine, World Collective View. Anthony Marlowe. Good morning, Kyiv from Dallas, Texas. Mercado Biker Dad in the chat. Oh, yes. Biker Dad's been doing great in the chat for that. I've been seeing it. Amazing interview. The resilience of the Ukrainian people is inspirational. Carol, thanks, Andrew. And arigato. Gozamisu.
Arigatou
Fumi-san.
gozaimasu.
Graybeard, how did you get your name?
But honestly,
I don't know how.
okay, so,
It's a mystery.
I started a Twitch channel like a year and a half ago. I was streaming Sea of Thieves.
Really?
Yeah, and this was not quite this big, but it was kind of moving along. And I run Dungeons and Dragons games.
Yeah.
I'm a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons as well on that Twitch
Yep.
channel. So I thought, okay, well, Graybeard, you could be a Graybeard dwarf, you could be a Graybeard pirate. I'll go with Graybeard, and I have a big gray beard, so I went with that.
Oh yeah, easy. All right. Oh wow, that's a NAFO FAFO. That's anonymous. Awesome. Hey Merc, Bit Vicious from the Anonymous Collective German section here. Tell Fumi-san that we have mad respect for him and his team. Give that man $10 for me, for fuck's sake. 200 people, best $10 ever.
ネイフォの人が
はい
ネイフォからなんか僕らがフミさんのこと大好きと伝えていて、そしてアンドリューさんに10ドルなんかあげてくださいよ。ちゃんとあげっていい感じで。It's got a box. I don't know if you got $10.
Yeah, I got
put it in the box.
I'll put it in the box.
I was
let me
doing
go
this
back.
last night.
And then Fumi Truck, can we get a cool Fumi Truck logo? That's another question. Also, guys, ask questions really quick. Let me go get $10 to put it in the bin for you guys really quick. I do have 10 hryvnia. But any questions you have for Fumi really quick, ask in the chat, just at me.
Yeah,
I got to put $10 in.
If you have any questions, go for it now. And I was doing that last night at the Vladimir Putin Do Fuck Off festival. Whenever somebody came up to ask him for a picture, he would take the picture because he's a very nice guy. He's very polite. And then afterwards, I would say, he's got a box. You put the money in the box. Oh, yeah, okay. And we pull out the money. ふみさんが何か他の伝えたいことありますか？
そうですね。
So this is more. Okay.
とにかく戦争が終わってそれからも第2回戦が始まります。復興は一番大変な仕事になると思いますので、私は命が続く限りここで支援を続けます。
He said, even after we win the war, he is going to keep working because that's when the second fight starts.
Right, exactly.
And he is focused on helping with that as well and continuing to support Ukraine until things are, back to where they should be.
100%. And also, Chad, I'm going to put 200 hryvnia in, so more than $5. There you go. Right in the bin. All right. Of course. Need that. All right. How does Fumi-san feel? Did you ask him that? How does Fumi-san feel about support from Japan?
ふみさんは日本からの支援とサポートはどう思いますか？
ですね、日本は日本の国の中で物の値段が上がったり生活が大変になってます。ですから皆さん自分たちの生活がまず優先ということになりますので、やはり支援疲れといいますか、少しずつ支援は減ってきています。ただ心ある方はいまだに私たちを支援してくれています。
So, the economy in Japan is not super great either. Inflation has hit Japan pretty hard. So a lot of people are, firstly concerned about their own, lifestyles and what they have to do. So as things have continued, the support from Japan has gotten less and less.
Yeah.
It's fallen.
Yeah.
But there are people with big hearts who have supported the whole time and continue to support. And he's got a lot of love from Japan, but it has fallen as time goes.
As is, because also I believe Japan has their own defense that they're focused on too, to the north.
Yeah. So this is maybe my thing more because Fumi-san does not like to discuss the military. Well, not so much discuss, but all the money he gets goes directly to helping citizens, civilians in Kharkiv.
100%.
I am a little more focused on drones. Like when I came here, I brought one bag with
Same.
with like school supplies and feminine hygiene products and like medicine and things like that. And the other bag was filled with drones and night vision cameras.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a time for peace and there's a time for war.
Yeah,
You know, like you got to sometimes.
It's like a
do
balance,
both.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, people forget that Russia has invaded Japan. They're holding Japanese territory, and they have not given it back since the end of World War II. There are grave sites of the Japanese ancestors on these islands. And in 2006, they sank a fishing boat and killed a fisherman. And America did nothing. You know, if you ask the Ukrainians, should Japan depend on America as its sole form of defense, they will say no. So there is, you know, a certain amount of, you know, push towards, you know, let's build drones here, let's do that kind of stuff here, which is stuff I'm working on, which I can get into some other time. I'm talking about him today, but yeah, it's, you know, Japan is in a weird position because they are technically at war with Russia, but most people don't think about it.
Right. It kind of gets forgotten.
Yeah.
Like the Winston Churchill quote I'm sticking with is Americans will do the right thing after everything else has been tried.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's such a common, it's such a true quote even to this day. Okay, let's do final thoughts. Let me have Natasha first. Anything that do you have any final thoughts or anything that you would like to say to people watching?
У вас є якісь останні думки чи щось, що ви хотіли б сказати людям, які дивляться?
По-перше, я хочу сказати дуже велике дякую за цю зустріч, за цей прямий ефір. Це дуже важливо, як для нас, українців, так і для Фумінорі.
First of all, I want to say a very big thank you for this meeting and for this live broadcast. It is very important both for us Ukrainians and for Fumi-miners.
And for Fumi-san.
Fumi-san. Yeah. For Fumi-san.
For minors. It never gets his name right. The
Yeah,
Google
it doesn't
translate-
like his name.
No.
I think is it.
Ваша допомога дає нам наснаги працювати далі.
Help gives us the impetus to work further.
І сьогодні я зрозуміла, як Фумі тяжко все ж таки працювати з українцями, коли не розумієш мови.
And today I realized how hard it is to work with Ukrainians when you don't understand the language.
It's a little difficult, but you know he
Of
has
course.
to, he makes it work. Though.
Yeah. He
Thank
does.
you so much.
Of course. Final thoughts from Fumi-san.
ふみさんの最後の話したいこととか言いたいこととか考えてるこ
とにかく一歩も引かずに最後までやり抜きます。ご支援よろしくお願いいたします。
と。So no matter what, he is going to keep doing this until the end. So you know, thank you very much for your support, or please support, and thank you very much for it.
And then Graybeard, final thoughts from you.
I've got a bit. It's totally, you know, you like ultra nerdy.
That's fine.
Can I do it? All right.
Oh, one more from Fumi.
この場を設定していただいた川口コリンさん、アンドレイさん、お礼申し上げます。
And thank you very much for me and for you for setting this up so that he can talk to you guys.
Of course.
So one, just to keep it focused on Fumi for a second, the becoming a monthly supporter is really important because they need to, you know if they can open another shop. They need to know if they can, you know, pay how many staff, you know, they need. So they need to be able to build a budget. Being a monthly supporter, it's, you know, money they can depend on. So, you know, even if it's only $5 or $10, the fact that it's coming in every month and they can rely on that, it makes a huge difference. So please consider, or just please become a patron. Please become a patron.
Just do it. Just $5. You have $5. The Americans spend more than $5 a month on coffee.
I mean,
so
like, it's you know,
spend $10 a day on coffee.
You know, like drink one less beer at the pub.
Yeah, one less beer, and then it's $5. Yeah,
it's $5. It's
it's
really
literally, and you can feed 100 people off of $5.
Yeah, it's
right.
insane. Right?
Yeah. Anyways,
and then I also have a bit that I would like to do. I'm going to tell a story,
Okay.
right? And it's a fantasy story, but it's also a true story, and it will sound familiar, most likely. There is an evil lord in the east with an army of orcs and trolls who are attacking the free people of the west. The people of this nation are fighting against it and holding it back. By the blood of these people are our lands kept safe. If you live in the valleys and hills and little rivers of Europe, they will burn them, blast them, and choke them with the terrors of war. If you live in the peaceful shires of England, they will come and work to destroy it. Or even if you live across the ocean, the tendrils of this evil will stretch out and attack. We are here. You know, Fumi-san was living in Poland and he's from Japan. I am from America and was living in Japan. So we are two old mystics in blue from the east and are also from the west. And, you know, we know that the leaders and the government of this nation have not always been the best. But they got rid of their terrible steward at the Euromaidan. And they have found their true captain for this fight. And if you ever wondered what you would have done if you were in these situations, now's your chance. Gondor calls for aid. Who will answer?
Thank you so much, Greybeard. Amazing connection there, and it brings home, especially since we are on my gaming channel.
That's why I was thinking it might roll.
It fits. It
It
will
might
roll.
work.
It will
Yeah,
work
yeah.
great, and hopefully my main channel will be restored soon. Thank you so much to Natasha, to Fumi-san. Thank you so much. Thank you, Greybeard, for your translations.
problem.
Amazing
No problem.
work, and also our work in Kharkiv.
I do have one other thing.
Go ahead.
I think I win on the beard thing.
I think you do.
know? I
Yeah,
really do. I've been watching the last
I
couple
have
weeks.
years.
We've been
It's going to
talking
take.
about it. You know, he's got a nice little beard going on, very, you know, Japanese, you know, but I think I crush it.
Yeah, I'm see. It's like the phases of beardom, like newborn baby, like mature,
yeah,
and then grandmaster beard.
Grandmaster, exactly.
Yeah.
Does
So-
the most with the least.
Yeah, exactly. Does the most with the least, all around. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm actually going to put Fumi-san's. Does he use his Facebook or Twitter
He
more?
uses Facebook
I'll
and
put his
Twitter.
I'll put his social media in the description as well because his Patreon's already there. But support the channel. This is my second channel, so if you came over from my main one, subscribe here because it is a backup channel. It's been used as one before, and we're using it now. We'll hopefully have everything resolved on the other channel very soon. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Have a good day, you guys. Slava Ukraine.
Heroim Slava.
Let's go. Of course. All right. Bye.